I went to the Nintendo Museum the other day.
Oh, how was that?
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
In Kyoto?
In Kyoto, yeah.
Oh,
I did a day trip to Kyoto with Aki just to go to the Nintendo Museum.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It was so good. So good. But my God, there is not enough time.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like, for one, it opened up in, like, what? October, I think, whenever it was. And we immediately, because, you know, obviously it's, like, limited tickets.
I was going to say, like, is it hard to get tickets for it?
Well, I mean, we applied for the tickets in the beginning of October, and the next available day was, like, the middle of December. Apparently, right now, tickets are booked up until, like, March.
Jesus Christ.
It's insane. Shit. Yeah, but it's like, yes.
Oh my God.
So, but it's fucking awesome. Like,
so GG, you can't go basically.
GG, you can't go basically unless you do it like way in advance.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's crazy.
It's so cool though.
What's the experience like?
So it's like 2 floors. The top floor, like the second floor.
Is it a lottery as well?
I believe so. Yes. Oh. Yeah, it's a lottery and it's not available.
Holy
until
fuck,
March.
Japan! For God's sake, stop this lottery nonsense.
Which is why but like I thought that too, and then when I actually went, it's actually not that big in terms of like space. So if they didn't do a lottery, then it would just be like you wouldn't be able to get anywhere essentially because all it is 2 floors. It's the top floor is like what you're seeing right now, which is like basically like a history of like all of the game consoles Nintendo's made, like, and it goes. And it predates like all the game stuff that they did because they used to be like a Hanafuda like company, like made games and like, you know, board games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it shows like the entire history of all of that. And then the first floor is this like kind of interactive space where the coolest one was, it was just this room where you could play all of the Nintendo consoles in like these kind of minigame formats, but all the controllers are giant.
Oh, that's cool.
So we played like Mario 64, but the N64 controller was like the size of this table.
Oh shit!
And so you had to get like, so like Aki was like on this like giant joystick, just like doing this, and I had to fucking mash A and B. Yeah. So you can see there the Nintendo console.
Cool.
There. Yeah. So the bottom floor is like, you know, you get to play essentially from like NES all the way up to the Wii. But the problem is that like, again, you have to like line up for these obviously, and we went on a weekday and it was still like really busy, so I can't imagine what it's like on a weekend. But yeah, really cool interactive exhibit. I bought a t-shirt with the N64 logo on it because it just looks sick as fuck. And then afterwards I was like, it's been a long time since I've been to Kyoto, just in general, and I've heard about, you know, all the tourism problems that they were going. So I'm like, let's go to Gion. Let's just see.
Why would you do that?
Let's just see what it's like.
Let's just have a look. Let's just have a gander.
It's like we don't have to get the bullet train for like another 3 or 4 hours. Like, we got time to kill. Let's just go to Gion and just see what it's like. It was bad. It was really fucking bad. And we were there at night as well. Cause like, you know, usually Gion is like very packed during the day. Cause that's obviously when, you know, the geishas are out and about. But even at night, it was insane. I could not walk anywhere. And I'm just like, how do people have a good time here anymore? Like, it's actually ridiculous.
I'm not a Kyoto enjoyer. I'm
pretty it's sad because like I actually quite like Kyoto, but like it's just like, because the last time I went to Kyoto was during COVID. So now...
Same here.
Yeah, so now I go and it's just like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. And it's like a Tuesday.
Yeah. I think the outskirts of Kyoto are a lot better than the touristy parts now, which is still good. Like, I think Kyoto does have its strong points, but I think like as a tourist destination, I'm like, I don't think Kyoto is that great. Because you just can't really do anything.
No,
anymore.
You really can't.
And I feel like you can look at temples and stuff, obviously not as amazing, but you can actually just go and see other cool parts of Japan that have literally no one there. You can have it all yourself and a lot more peaceful.
Exactly.
And you can support a less traveled area, which God knows Japan needs help in those areas. So I feel like there's almost no downside other than maybe a little less connected to going to slightly like other areas.
And I feel like that, you know, that inconvenience is worth it for sure. What I think is a better experience.
Yeah,
you know, it makes me think. I think the one place that gets too many tourists that I think actually shouldn't is like Nara.
Yeah,
Nara is kind of weird because it's obviously the reason why is because one has the deer, but mainly because it's well connected and it's right next to Kyoto, so it's very easy for people to go there. But Nara's kind of like. It's kind of not a whole lot. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But like in terms of like
But also, you could spend the exact same amount of time it takes to travel from Kyoto to Nara to like go to, I don't know, Shiga and go see like Biwako, which is also beautiful around there and way less busy. You can also take the same amount of time to just go to Osaka at that point.
I think Kobe's even like way more worth.
Yeah, Kobe's nice.
I know Kobe's quite popular, but often I'll always hear Osaka I I'm like, no, I think Kobe's worth.
Yeah,
Kobe's got some really good
Kobe's
stuff.
cool.
And doesn't at least say when I went, I've been a couple of times. I don't know, maybe someone who lives there could tell us if tourism is really bad there, but it didn't feel too bad when I was there. But Kobe's really, really fun. And Chris didn't like it, but I like the cable cart in Kobe. I think the cable cart. I like it. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Maybe he did like it. Maybe he just didn't want to read it.
Maybe he's just British.
Yeah, maybe he's just being British. Who knows?
I think Kobe's a really underrated tourist destination.
Yeah, I like Kobe a lot.
I mean, people normally go to Kobe if they really want to try the beef there. You know, that's the big draw of Kobe.
Which honestly is kind of like whatever.
Yeah, same.
Because it's not even the best beef in Japan. If you're a real beef lover, you'll know that Miyazaki has the best beef in Japan, or those areas. But it's not a big deal.
Yeah. And you know, I can only see tourism going up in Japan in like the next few years as well.
I think they need to find a way to make like Kyushu and Hokkaido like feel a little more easier to traverse.
Yeah.
I think it's too daunting for people. I think getting there is also a problem. People don't want to go to the airport generally, but I think like getting a flight from Haneda is so easy.
Yeah.
So I think they need to invest a lot into kind of like selling people that like, hey, flying to Kyushu or whatever is so easy. You should do it.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, go to Tottori.
Do you know what I found weird?
Ship people to Tottori, please.
Do you know what I found weird? So I was like, I was looking for, you know, since Sydney's parents are going to Thailand for a bit, I was trying to look for places that, you know, where Thai people go for like holidays and destinations, because there used to be like some certain islands or some certain cities that didn't have as many foreign tourists there, didn't have that like foreign tourist like infrastructure there. And definitely going to Got Some Weed this time, I did notice going there as an adult versus going there as when I was a kid, it has changed so fucking much, because you know, this has been gentrified, and this is definitely a lot more touristy than I remember it. So I was like, oh, what are the places that Thai people go on holidays usually now? And it was weird because like talking to some of my Thai family, some of my Thai friends over there, I was like, where do people go now? Where do the locals go for a holiday if they just want a quick break? And everyone's like, oh, we just go to Japan. the Japan tourist infrastructure for like, you know, how easy it is to get from Thailand has like gone up so much. I was like, that's weird, because I'm going to Japan to Thailand, and I want a Thai place where Thai people go on holiday, and I'm like, wait, I'm already here.
It's interesting. I feel like a lot of like companies like the airlines are doing a great job of getting people into Japan, but then Japan is struggling to know how to like convince certain aspects of the country to be like, hey, yeah, we're ready for tourists. So it's interesting. Like there's like a hotel demand, which is crazy. Like, how is there not enough hotels space? But
well, because they fucked over the Airbnb business. That's why.
That is why.
Yeah, when we used to come to Japan, we used to get Airbnbs, but then for the Olympics around like 2018, they gutted Airbnbs. They changed the regulation.
I think like 80% of Airbnbs disappeared or something.
They made it so you had to meet like the same standards as like a hotel. So you had to have like clearly marked fire escape or a fire thing. And they did a bunch of regulation that was obviously unreasonable to expect apartment owners to be able to keep up with. So it kind of just destroyed Airbnb overnight. And like there are still some good Airbnbs in Japan.
Oh, there are.
But I would say more so it's kind of like, hey, you're going to the countryside and you want a full house kind of vibe, not like get an interesting thing in Tokyo. I feel like if you're kind of out of the way, like Okinawa is really good. There's so many like luxury villas or those kind of things that you can get.
Have you seen these weird ass Airbnbs lately that have been suggested? Like you go on Airbnb and it's like, oh,
the experiences.
You can live in the Barbie house or the X-Men house.
So these are all like marketing stunts. They're not like there was one where they had like Edna Mole's house from the.
I kind of want to go there.
But it was like they only let like 10 people go and you couldn't sleep there. It was an experience.
What?
So it's just mainly just for marketing.
Oh.
It's all for marketing purposes.
So let me search on Airbnb now and see. Just explore. Because normally it's like a lot of like sponsored stuff.
One thing to also note in Japan, if you ever look for hotels, often Booking.com and all these websites don't have a lot of the hotels.
Yeah.
Google, if you Google it and like use the Google Travel, it will actually tell you where the hotels are and will link you to their websites.
Right.
So if you're in an area where it says like there's no hotels, get off Booking.com, all these websites, just go on Google, have a look at the hotels in the area physically. And then go to the website where they want you to book. Because Booking.com had a kind of a big scandal earlier this year where they weren't paying out hotels.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, it took like a month or two late. And so a lot of hotels ended up opting out of not being on these websites.
Jeez.
So you do want to have to look on Google itself. Because Google Maps will tell you where a hotel is.
Yeah.
And then it'll send you to some website that you're like, this is disgusting. Where like booking is very difficult. I'm not going to lie. These websites, some of these Japanese websites where they try to make you book, horrific. Genuinely horrific. It's honestly impressive.
Most Japanese websites are
that some people design these websites and they're like, that's good enough.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's not. To who? To Satan?
Yeah.
This is not good enough.
It's I'd say it's the Japanese form of like gatekeeping. Because
I don't even think so. I just think they just think, I think like some like so when we do
Because the
this,
Japanese person will be like, "Oh, this is fine."
yeah, exactly.
because they'll call up or like they're used to this.
Yeah.
But like when we're doing the cyclothon, some areas don't have a lot of hotels, and maybe there'll be 0 on Booking.com. But then when we look on Google, they'll have like 1 or 2. And we'll use their website, and it's like, this is impossible.
Horrendous. Yeah.
So we'll end up just calling them up and be like, "Hey, can we just have 4 rooms?" And they'll be like, "Okay,"
yeah.
and then it's done. Where you're like, "Oh my god, I lost 900 years of mental sanity using this website."
Yeah.
But just calling up was like,
I mean, I usually am at the point now where if I'm trying to like book a Japanese hotel of some kind that doesn't show up on Booking.com, and I take
call.
one look at the website, I'm like, I'm fucking calling
yeah,
this.
you just call.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
so much easier. It's genuinely learning Japanese is easier than using these UI. Like it's quicker to learn Japanese, get fluent, call them up, rather than using the website UI.
Yeah.
It's so fucking
It's
bad.
so
Yeah.
bad.